We've all probably heard about the game Candy Crush. If you haven't, then you have successfully avoided every type of social media ever created and probably live under a rock. How are you watching this video? In case you haven't played it, which I don't recommending because people get addicted to it, but if you haven't, I will explain it to you anyway. It starts off just like any other matching game, like Bejeweled or Chuzzle or something like that. Matching 3 pieces gets rid of the jewels or chuzzles, well in this case candies. Matching 4 makes it striped, and then it gets rid of a row or a column. Matching 5 makes this chocolate ball, which can destroy any of one color if it's next to it. And then matching 6 makes this package of candy that explodes when you use it. Why they have explosive candy? I don't know, but it does. The main thing that separates Candy Crush from its competitors is that each board has a very specific goal. Whether it's just getting it to a certain score or getting rid of certain candies, you know, everything, it's very goal specific. And as you move along in the game, it's important to remember the things that you first learned in the beginning stages. Just like any other game, the first few levels lay out the rest of your journey. As you move onward in your Candy Crush life, you realize that there are a lot of things trying to stop you. Time, health, barricades, bombs, getting tickets from other people. The list goes on, and sometimes it just seems like you aren't gonna make it. There have been times when it's taken me weeks to beat a board because I couldn't figure it out. Most of the time when I get into a rut like that, I get so frustrated that I just swear that I'll never play the game again and just walk away and just forget I ever knew how to play the game. You know, it just seemed like it was better to not give a crap than continue on this level. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? When the going gets tough, you stop caring. When the chips are down, so are your spirits. When life throws you lemons, you let it hit you right in the face. But if you're like me, then you eventually come back because of boredom or who knows what, but after a while of not caring, you go back and play the game. And you decide that it's worth it to get out of this sticky situation. Pun intended. Then all of a sudden it just seems like all the pieces just start to fall in place and then you beat the board. But of course, that's not the end of things. You don't ride up into the sunset after you beat one level of Candy Crush and just say, screw it, I'm never playing this again, I have completed it and I will forget about it and just move on with my life. No, nobody does that. There are like a million levels to this game, so you know, you just keep on playing. As much of a love-hate relationship I'm in with Candy Crush, I can't help but compare it to my regular life. Every time I face a trial at first, I really want to figure it out. I want to try and find my own way out of the situation, but I never can. That's not because I lack passion, but that's because I lack the wisdom and often faith to get me out of the situation. I get frustrated because I don't have all the answers and I want to give up. But I know that when I'm at the end of my rope, God is my safety net, and He's always going to catch me. After my frustration goes away, I get alone with God and ask Him for guidance and help. I pray for the strongholds to break down, my faith to increase, and wisdom for the next step. And usually everything gets worked out pretty quick. I'm not saying that it's like a 10-minute prayer that zap, everything is right with the world, a rainbow shines, you turn Super Saiyan, and you can face all your enemies. You can't expect everything to be worked out when you've only spent 10 minutes with God, and He's just gonna be like, oh, that's 10 minutes! That's wonderful! They spent 10 minutes with me, and I've been reaching out for them every single moment of their life. They spent 10 minutes with me, oh, diddly, boodly, bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, I'm gonna work great things for them because they spent 10 minutes with me. I'm so grateful. No. It's not like that. I mean, come on, would your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, would they be happy if you only spent 10 minutes with them and that was only when things were going bad? Really? But anyway, just like every level of Candy Crush has a minimum score requirement, every trial has a minimum faith requirement for you to get through it. You may have been struggling with the same thing for years because you never got your faith to the level required to break through. But you know, just like there's not only one level to Candy Crush, our faith isn't tested one time and then we walk off into the sunset and forget everything that ever happened because you beat the game. No, it's not like that at all. Your faith will be tested again and again and again and again and again and again and again. The first chapter of 1 Peter in verses 6 and 7 says, "In all this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." So when a trial comes your way, don't just curl into a ball and just wait for it to be over, or get so frustrated that you don't even care anymore. These tests come to prove your faith and to give God praise. Your faith should be constantly increasing, and you should be continually praising God. But the sad truth is, we don't make sure that either of those things are happening because we care too much about what's going on in our day-to-day lives. We care too much about the problems that we face that most of the time mean absolutely nothing. Like fights or social media or traffic that takes too long, or the Taco Bell employee that was somewhat rude to you and you cannot just let that go for some reason. Most of your problems mean nothing. We focus too much on ourselves, our possessions, the things we want, the things we don't get. We focus too much on ourselves, and that's why we are so frustrated as a society and as a people. We focus on things that don't mean anything instead of the things that truly matter. And the truly things that matter are the things of God. So, until next time, I'm Tina Barr, and I'm geeked for Jesus.